subtract my age from buy this car to drive to work to pay for this car, buy this car to drive to work.
Welcome to the Yellow Brick Road. I am Jordan, and today I'm going to be discussing will and should Tulsi Gabbard go after Elizabeth Warren in the next debates, the October debates, the one she qualified for. But first, please consider donating to Devon's Journey to Recovery. The GoFundMe link is down there in the description box. Click that link, read the story, and donate some money. Any amount will help. $1, $20, $100, $100,000. It all helps. And none of it goes to us. It goes to one of our subscribers and his wife. It's charity. It's helping someone out, paying their medical bills, because we don't have universal health care because of the waiting lines. Just fine. So please donate. Devon's Journey to Recovery, GoFundMe link in the description box. Forgive my radioactive shirt too. Alright, so last week Tulsi Gabbard was on The Hill's YouTube show, Rising. Probably the best best content The Hill has, period. Because there's a fortune teller named Crystal Ball there. Alright, get it? Crystal Ball. Fortune teller. And a man named Sugar. Or it's Sagar or some shit like that. I'm calling him Sugar though. So on this show, they ask Tulsi Gabbard explicitly about, what do you think about Elizabeth Warren? They go over, her murking Kamala first, but they're sort of inching at something. So let's play the video.
So you've been critical of Senator Harris in the past, and even went so far as to question whether she was prepared to be commander-in-chief. We now see Senator Warren really rising in the polls. She's first in a lot of national polls and several state polls as well, early state polls. Do you believe that she's prepared to be commander-in-chief?
I haven't seen much come from her in the way of what kind of leadership and decision-making that she would bring to that most important responsibility that the president has as commander-in-chief, and just as a soldier and an American, that's very concerning for me. So, for voters, I think that's an important thing to look out for from everyone who's running for president, is what kind of experience do you have in this area? What kind of depth and understanding do you bring to these very nuanced and complex issues with how the United States is relating with other countries? What kind of leadership we're providing in the world? And having the kind of foresight and judgment that we've seen leaders from across both party lines have lacked for far too long, that have brought us to this position where, for all three of us, we've seen our country at war for the vast majority of the years that we've been alive.
That's a long-winded way of saying, fuck no. And saying, basically, oh, you're probably going to get the same old shit with Elizabeth Warren. Now, whether that's in a competitive sense or she just stepping back just as a person, I think Elizabeth Warren will just be the same old shit we've already had, which has been years and years of continued wars. I think they actually ask her if she'll go after Elizabeth Warren, which could be interesting. Let's hear it.
One thing we debated this morning was, when we heard the news that you were going to be up on the stage, is who are you going to kneecap next? Last time it was Kamala Harris.
I saw that too.
Yeah. We had a big debate. We were like, who is she going to take out? You effectively ended Kamala Harris's candidacy. She's down at 3% in the latest, I think, Emerson poll. Who's the next target for you?
I'm actually running for president.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I just want to remind everybody that.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I didn't ask her if she's going to go after Warren in particular. Maybe she does. I don't know. I'll link it in the description box so that you guys can correct me. But so the main question here: will Tulsi Gabbard go after Elizabeth Warren in the next debates? Part of me thinks she will. My guess is she will go after her, Maybe not as aggressively as Kamala Harris, but she's probably going to point out the foreign policy flaws of Elizabeth Warren. Now, there's a little bit of logistical things you have to point out here because, as they talk about later in this interview, they don't do a lot of talking about foreign policy during the debates. They're usually like very small segments on foreign policy. You'll actually see when we live react to debates, which you can see on our second channel if you subscribe in the description box down there. Yellbro Live, subscribe to that channel. You'll be able to see that I'm like this when foreign policy comes up. I'm like, when are they going to talk about foreign policy? Then they do for like 5 minutes, and then they use that to move into a different topic altogether, or something that's like foreign policy light. And it's like, what the freak, man? Like, that's all you spend on, like, shouldn't that be the most important thing for Americans, period? Like, how are you going to expect some sort of policy, domestic policy to get, going? How can you in good faith argue for a good domestic policy if you're still killing people overseas where no one sees it? It's almost like a secret that it's happening. So that's why foreign policy is like if you can't get that right, then it's like, what the fuck else are you going to do? Like, you can't do anything else after that. You're still killing people over here. In unjust, unnecessary wars that we helped create as far as the enemies. So, it's sort of a, it's a tough answer. Will she? I think she will. Or she would, if they actually spend time on foreign policy. And this might be her last hurrah since they're going to up the standards for the November and the further on debates. So she better do some interrupting. She better raise her hand. She better do something if she did want to, like, I'm going to take down Warren because, fans think she's the same as Bernie. So I'm going to go after her. She's going to have to do some work there. Now, here's the other question. Should she do that? I want to see it. But for her to win the presidency or win the nomination, I don't think there's anything saving her now. I don't think there's anything, like, she can have the best policy answers, and later that night, TYT is going to ignore that she was there in the first place. The places where she would want to win, places where she would actually be helped, is in the independent arena, where normal people are just watching shit that isn't like corporate media, like that thing. Those are the things that would help someone like Tulsi out. Just like that was the thing that helped Bernie out. So if you don't have those guys, if you don't have TYT, Sam Cedar, David Pakman, like when she did, kneecap Kamala Harris, when she basically ended her shit, I didn't hear much credit for her at all, really. Who did Cenk Uygur pick as the winner of that debate? Jay Inslee. In that same debate where she ended Kamala's shit, where Kamala gets destroyed is trending for fucking 3 or 4 days, and Tulsi Gabbard, once again, #1 search candidate. And Jay Inslee was the winner, according to Cenk Uygur. So it's like, there's nothing she can do, man. I think it's lost for her. But what she can do is have an impact. So, as a person watching from the outside, I'm like, yeah, you should do this. Just end Elizabeth Warren for us. You're going to get a shitload of backlash for it. They're going to be like, Tulsi did this, and Modi, and whatever. That's going to happen, but it's going to happen anyways if you get any type of success. Like, I've never seen a candidate where there's so much mainstream and independent media against this one person. It's very weird. So, yeah, she should do it. Why not? She should kneecap everyone up there. Like, force the conversation back to foreign policy. Whatever the fucking topic is, shift it back to that. Say, how are we going to pay for that? Unless we take care of this thing first, which is these wars we're spending all this money on. Every single fucking topic. even abortion. It's like some of these women overseas here don't have a choice because they're getting bomb abortions. They're pregnant, but they get bombed. There you go. Women's rights? Look at over here. Look what we do over here. Anything. What's that shit? When they pay you back for slavery? Reparations. It's like, oh, we helped institute, or we're helping slavery get by in Libya now. Hey, look at that. She needs to tie everything back to foreign policy, because this could be her last hurrah, and that might get her time to get some more support to get her on to the next stage. I mean, at least you want someone like this at least to be around, right? People that are on paper progressives, quote unquote, don't you want them to be like in the final top 5 or top 3 or something? That there is no wiggle room for a Biden to slither in, or a Booker, or even I understand why people like Warren, but I've seen too much to be like, is she more progressive than a Tulsi or a Bernie? Probably not. But they seem to clear the lane for her for some reason. These independent media sources. All right, that's just my opinion. There it goes. Please subscribe if you like. Comment, agree, disagree, send me information, send me video requests. We do video requests here. That is no problem. Just try to keep it, less than like 15 minutes or something. Don't make it a 2-hour request. Also, if we don't do a recorded live request, we always go over the videos in our live streams. So trust me, we do look at your comments. We do react to your videos. So you can do that there. You can request a video reaction. Also, donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery. It is a charity. None of the money goes to us. So please donate. It's to help someone out paying their medical bills. That's right. Someone made a funny, dark type of joke, where it's like, instead of Medicare for all, it's going to turn into GoFundMe's for all, where everyone just has to do GoFundMe fucking accounts to pay for medical bills. And hopefully there'll be an end to that. I believe Bernie wants to cancel medical debt as well, so that would help them out quite a bit. But until then, we have to help each other out. So please donate to Devon's Journey to Recovery. GoFundMe link down there in the description box. And with all that said, give this video a thumbs down.
Say you wanna get in.